Hi everybody, I'm Jack and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me again today. It's been a few days. I had a real busy week last week and wasn't able to make videos, so it's the weekend now and I'm happy to be back with you guys again. Anyway, we'll jump right into the topic. If you remember, or if you don't, you can look back. Probably a few months ago I did a video on how I got into this lifestyle because of health and not for the animals, but very soon after I got into the lifestyle it became about both. You know, like when you first start watching videos and going to people's web pages and to their Facebook pages and all the various means promoting veganism, raw veganism, this lifestyle, you know, you start watching the movies like Earthlings and you see how animals are treated that are prepared to be food, and some you just get disgusted because of the way the blatant cruelty that they live their life under from birth till death, and also the nastiness of like how they're raising them, what they're putting into to the bodies of these animals to get them to get them to develop quicker. I mean, you know, the whole thing. So I didn't even realize this when I did that video, but I kind of thought, okay, I got into it for the health first, and then the ethical veganism or care about the animals came a little bit down the road. Well, I believe that seed was planted in the very first weekend that I started watching videos and reading about a raw vegan lifestyle, and it clicked for me right away. It was like, you know, I'm not going to get dramatic. The clouds opened and the lights hit me and lightning. But it just did. It resonated with me. And I knew from that weekend, you know, I didn't know anything about transitioning, but I knew that in getting into this new lifestyle, that there was going to be steps, there was going to be setbacks. I didn't know what I was doing in the beginning, but one thing that kept me on a good path, that I feel kept me on a good path and kept me on the health path, was when I did become what I consider an ethical vegan. And it did become more about the animals. Because why? Because all the time you see comments and you see a lot of these support groups on social media where you know, whether it's raw or vegan, raw before, whatever, where everybody gets together and kind of they support each other and everybody tells their story and hey, you know, so and so they were going good and then they fell hard, had a family event. Well, we've all done that. You know, we've all fallen off the wagon. We've all eaten things that we're like, oh, why did I eat that? You know, and the guilt sets in, and the energy's lowered, and what have you. But being an ethical, you know, I can't even imagine even after the first month, like of falling, like having fallen and going and getting a slice of greasy pizza with a thick layer of cheese and just dripping grease. Or I can't imagine having, after that month, being clean and eating vibrant foods, going and eating a hamburger or eating animal products. I mean, I could have seen now, you know, going and freaking out on a bag of potato chips. I could have seen going out and eating some sort of junk food even, or, you know, whatever. Too much oil, that was my thing, but I couldn't do the animal products anymore. Now how does this help from a health standpoint if you've got both going for you? Well, if you eliminate the options of things, like imagine if it was a religious thing, like, you know, there's certain religions that have prohibitions on what they eat and whatnot, and it's like, not that this doesn't, you know, appeal to you, but they have another reason not to eat this, so you have a double reason. Well, the same thing, yeah, you can eat a lot of bad stuff that doesn't come from animal products. There's a lot of junk out there, and there's a lot of junk food vegans out there. I've met quite a many even before I came to this lifestyle. You know, they don't eat, they're vegan, but good Lord, the stuff they eat, like it's you know, a diet full of processed food. But when you just totally eliminate animal products from your brain, from your life, from the possibilities, that greatly reduces how far you're going to be able to fall. No matter how clean you are, and let's say you eat too much oil, you eat, I don't know, potato chips, you eat French fries, you eat whatever, but if it's vegan, you still don't have quite as far to fall and quite as much guilt to crawl back up from as you would if you're doing this lifestyle and you go to a picnic this weekend and you freak out and you eat fried chicken, or you eat, you know, pizza, or you eat burgers, or you eat something that's just, you know, blatantly bad for you and blatantly animal products. Anyhow, like I say, this is not one of those dogmatic or judgmental. Like a lot of times I'm always trying to convey on my channel that this is a sharing. This is kind of a sharing of ideas I have. This is a sharing of tips to keep you on that style. Listen, if you slip up, however you slip up, we love each other, you know. It's like, you know, I'm not going to sit here and judge or hate you. I'll hope you do better. I'll try to help you any way I can. But I just wanted to clear that up. This is not a dogmatic, like, don't eat the animal products, blah, blah, blah. It's just more giving you another reason why being vegan, and strongly being vegan instead of just being a raw foodist for your health or whatever, will not only make you feel better about the planet, about the animals, whatever, but it also will help you with your health journey. Anyhow, I hope this one's been real clear. I actually had to kind of stop and redo this video because I've had like different thoughts about it, and I just kind of wanted to figure out how to best express it. If you like this video and it helped a little bit, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, and I'd like to hear from, even if you're not doing the raw thing, I'd like to hear from some vegans on their perspective on things. You know, I get mostly the raw food world and the raw vegans, but I like, you know, I talk about it sometimes. I don't really care too much for the hardcore preacher, dogmatic, almost seemingly hateful vegan community, but I have found some really lovely vegan communities and some really lovely vegan people that I interact with, and raw or not, I just, the vegan community and the vegan cause is very important to me, as are the animals. Anyhow, have a great day. Thanks for tuning in. Peace.